All right. Welcome to DCT.
Episode 36. Hey, Ben. How's it going?
Hi.
How's your week been so far?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not been a great week. It's actually been a rough time for like a lot of the DC sports. We've had not much to celebrate, a lot to talk about, but
So we have a football franchise that is now 3-6 with no franchise quarterback. We have a 0-4 Caps team this week, and we have a 1-6 Wizards team in the last couple weeks.
yeah. So
Thank God the WNBA is not on. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, so with all of that going on, I think it would be appropriate to say a prayer for our DC sports.
We're not overly religious here, but, I mean, at this point, it can't hurt.
Yeah, at this point, we're grasping at straws, trying to salvage whatever we can. So
Bring Jesus into this. Hopefully it'll help us.
yeah, maybe Jesus can solve whatever's going on right now. So with that, let's give a little prayer to Jaden Daniels. So, dear Father, thank you for blessing us with Jaden Daniels for this past year and a half. He has been an absolute spectacle. He's changed what we think of when we think of the Washington Commanders. The injury was gruesome, so we're all looking for salvation in his recovery, and we hope that Dan Quinn doesn't use him for the rest of the year. We hope that we don't get absolutely embarrassed for the rest of the season, and we hope that our franchise quarterback can come back to us next year, and lead us to the promised land, one could say. Amen.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Man, that felt good.
We're doing anything to help at this point.
God,
But yeah.
I'm sweating. Man, he was just running through me on that one, honestly.
Wow. What's new?
Okay.
Let's do a little Seattle recap, as much as we don't want to.
Yeah, we have an obligation to the DCT followers and listeners to talk about this.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off with some basic stats? Maybe?
Yeah, so the stats were kind of like the big issue for this game because it didn't look great. You had Darnold going for 21 of 24, 330 pass yards, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception, with a QBR of 97.8. Now, in the first half, he went 12 for 12 for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, that's like ridiculously good. And it's a shame that it had to happen against the Commanders, because if it happened against any other team, I would be praising Sam Darnold. And now I can't fucking stand to look at this guy for what he did to us. One bright spot that we did have, though, was our rush defense. Surprisingly enough, out of anything we could have picked apart from this game, our rush defense only gave up a total of, less than 80 yards, which is really good when you have guys like K9 and Charbonnet running the ball as they do. But it makes sense, right, that the rush yards weren't there because they were all in the passing yards. Mm-hmm. You had JSN go for 8 catches and 129 yards. You had Cody White, who had 1 catch for 60 yards and a touchdown. That's all he needed to do, apparently. Torrey Holton, again, he's a rookie, right? Torrey Horton. Oh, God. See, I don't even know who this fucking guy is, but he absolutely torched us with only having 4 catches for 48 yards. But he did have 2 touchdowns. So, great game for him. Career game for him, probably. And then you had A.J. Barner, who had 3 catches for 24 yards and a rushing touchdown. So, as well as our rush defense did, our secondary and our defense have kind of been lackluster on the pass defense side. So, if we wanted to get anything from that game, it would be the rush defense looked decent, and especially going up against a team like the Lions next week, which have a lot better rush offense. Maybe we can see that kind of reemerge a little bit. But it was a rough watch.
I got a couple points for it. One, it's been a problem all year, and at this point, it's pretty much just a coaching issue. Penalties, that game. I mean, there was essentially three straight possessions where we went immediate kickoff. Luke McCaffrey breaks his collarbone. On that play, we had an illegal blindside hit that brought us back 15 yards. Next drive, we get a 15-yard penalty that turns a 3rd and 2 into a 3rd and 17. And Jaden throws a pick on the next play. Sets him up with great field position. And then next drive, Jalen Lane fumbles the ball, and Seahawks have another great field position for him. So it's, as much as I want to blame the players, I mean, penalties are also a coaching issue at some point, so that needs to be addressed. Protection, massive issue that game. I mean, Jaden was pressured on 51% of his dropbacks. He had 4 sacks, or was sacked 4 times. He didn't have any time coming out of the pocket, and that leads me to my last point. While you're being pressured 10 times, I think he ran 10 times during that game.
Yeah, he had 10 rushes for 50 yards.
Why is he in the game in the fourth quarter? I know a lot of quarterbacks tend to be in the game late. Not when it's your franchise quarterback, not when it is. He put him in with 12 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter, down 38-7, and left him in the game until the 7:39 mark, which is when he took off on that run because it was a pass play where the protection immediately broke down, which forced one of the Seattle edge rushers to come after him. Second he saw him, he took off, and obviously we all know what happened. But Dan Quinn even having him in the game at that point is 100% malpractice. I don't even know what's going through your head. There's no real upside to it. I mean, the guy either stat pads, he's not winning any awards this year. It doesn't matter if you have great stat. Or winning the game. It's 38-7. You're not winning the game with 12 minutes left. It doesn't matter.
And to piggyback off of that that pressure rate scenario, yeah, sure, he was pressured 51% of the time, and he was forced to scramble out of the pocket and move out of the pocket and run on his own. Now, that other 49%, when he didn't get pressured, he had about 3 to 4 seconds, which is decent to throw a football, but the receivers could not get open to save their life.
No.
Now, I know we've had a lot of problems with our wide receiver room and with people staying healthy, and we can't have a consistent wide receiver chart for game after game. But these are still NFL wide receivers. These are still people that get paid, that were decent in college enough to get drafted, and for some reason, you can't find them open at all. He only had 16 completions that game.
Yeah.
Out of 22 possible pass attempts. Now, I don't know if people are still lingering injuries. I don't know what Debo's status is. I know he played the full game, but he also has been dealing with a heel injury, so that is not allowing him to run as fast or make cuts as fast. And then the other guys are just, I mean, now Luke McCaffrey's going to be out for the year. So, I mean, now you're going to have to go further into your depth chart and your practice squad and, like, bring guys up. I mean, Treylon Burks played in that game, but he had 1 catch for 16 yards, which I guess, welcome to DC. But, I mean, in that 49% that he was not getting pressured, nobody could get open, which forced him to run the ball 10 times. Now, he's already dealt with injuries on both of his legs this season. So to have your quarterback who wants to be a pocket passing quarterback and can run if needs to, but does not need to immediately default to that. Now, you have to give him some sort of safety blanket. And for him, for the last year and a half, has been Zach Ertz. Yeah. Now, Zach Ertz has, no Yak Ertz, has been just going to a point, stopping and catching. I mean, he had at least 2 drops that game. And they were, kind of bad. One went, right through his hands. Another one hit him in the head. Not
great.
You can't expect Jaden, who has had injury after injury this season, carry your team to the finish line. It just can't be like that. And we saw the result of that. And now he's out for the rest of the year. So I don't know what needs to change going forward, but they need to figure it out. That's why they're getting paid all this money, because they need to figure it out.
Yeah, not super optimistic, but hopefully a different Washington team can start picking it up. It's early enough in the season for them to start doing it. But not a great week for the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough one. So the Caps right now are sitting at 6-5-1 in the Metropolitan Division, which is last, by the way, after a hot start at 4-2-0, which I think led the division at the time. But they've lost 4 in a row, and this is before we're recording on Wednesday, so they play the Blues tonight, who, out of these last 4 games, have a worse record than them.
Yeah.
Or they are the worst team that they've played in these last 5 games. But losing to the Senators 7-1, which was just a complete defensive breakdown. I don't even know what was wrong in that game, except for probably bad lines changes. Like, our 1 through 3 lines have been solid enough as they are, but the 4th and 5th lines is where we're just getting beat. It's been sloppy line changes, it's been people not picking up on the defense, and it's been bad rotations all around the board. And I know over these last 3 games, they've been trying to, like, get Ovi his 900th goal. You know, this is his 3rd straight game without a goal.
Yeah.
After that loss to the Sabres in overtime. The last time he did score was in that Senators game, and that was the only goal that scored. And then you lost the Stars 1-0, which I believe we had like 35 saves or something in that game, which was crazy. But, you know, you can't be perfect, right? And Islanders 3-1 2 nights later was just, I hate the fucking Islanders. I hate that I even have to talk about the Islanders.
And that's what? I believe earlier in the season we beat them 4-2, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe it was either earlier in the season or it was in the preseason, one of the two.
Just a stark contrast.
Yeah, oh god, I just hate losing to the Islanders, and we're gonna play them again in a week, so like we'll see. And then you lose to the Sabres 4-3 in a shootout.
That was ridiculous.
So the only thing that I could pull out of that Sabres game was Sonny Milano getting his first goal back since he got injured of November 6th last year.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since he was out there skating around, but he did get his first goal. So shout out Sonny. But over the last 10 games, we've had some bright spots in all of these losses. Mm-hmm. So Strome in these last 10 games has had 3 goals and 8 assists, which is great. He's our assist leader right now.
Yeah.
He's sitting at 8 assists in total. And then you've had Wilson, who is our goals leader right now at 6. Over the last 10 games, he's had 5 goals and 6 assists. So I'm going to mention this in a little bit, but like Wilson needs to like put the mitts away for like a couple of games because his penalties are getting out of control right now. In these last 10 games, though, the Caps are 5-4-1 with an average of 2.5 goals a game, 4.5 assists a game, 4.2 penalties per game, and a staggering 9.8 penalty minutes per game, which I believe leads the league. And it got way overinflated in that Sabres game with like 2 penalty misconducts for fighting. Mm-hmm. Wilson had another one. I don't know and remember exactly what it was for, but the fact that he was penalized 2 to 3 times in a game should say enough. So he needs to lock in, honestly, because I love Tom Wilson, and everybody knows him for being, you know, the big stone wall, the guy that, you know, you want to fight your battles for you, but, like, not physically, Tommy, please.
Not every time.
Not physically. You're our goals leader right now. You're a leader of this team. I need you to, like, lock in, get a sense of responsibility and ownership over this organization, and play hockey. You're playing great hockey right now. I just need you to stay out of the penalty box. Now, for the next 4 games, this will be the next week until we record again. We play the Blues tonight. I want that to be a win. It should be a win. It should be a very easy win against the Blues.
Yeah.
Now, Washington teams have this thing where they play down to their competition, so that really needs to not happen tonight. But I take a win over the Blues.
Yeah.
This week. And then in a couple days, you have to play the Penguins. And the Penguins are 8-4-2 right now, which I believe is second or third in the Metropolitan Division. So they're a good team. They're really hot right now. I do have us losing this game, but then again, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crosby,
Ovechkin, the sparks are still there in their wheelchairs. I feel like watching like two retirees play hockey together, just skating around, looking like people from the WALL-E movie, up in the space station. But so I do have it as a loss, but it could very well flip-flop depending on how aggressive we are that night. Then a couple days later, we play the Lightning, who are 6-5-2, and I really hope that we play decent in this game. I do expect us to win, so I really hope that this game we have a solid defensive performance.
Yeah.
And we can just run up the numbers on the Lightning. I don't like the Lightning either, so just to floor them real quick. I would love to see that.
I don't really like any team in the league other than the Caps. So.
And then you have to go on the road. This is a 3-game on the road, starting with the Penguins, 3 games on the road. And then you have to finish out in Carolina with the Canes. Ooh. So we all know how it went against last year with playing against the Canes in the playoffs, but I do have it as a loss. They started really hot this year at 8-4, so they are at the top of the division. So I do have it down as a loss, but I'd really like to see some fight in the boys right now. But I mean, it's going to be a rough week. It's a tough schedule. 3 games on the road before they can come back home after tonight. So if we could just minimize the penalties, please, and the fighting misconducts and everything.
Yep.
I mean, it's a great team. I love watching the boys. So 2-2 prediction for the next 2 weeks. We'll come back and we'll revisit this next week.
Yeah.
And we'll see how we do. But go Caps, go DC teams. Oh my God. And speaking of, DC teams, I'd like to flip-flop back to the Commanders.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little mid-season what the hell, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do just talking about, we're halfway through the season now. It's time to bring up some points about what this team has done.
This is essentially just going to be me going on my soapbox.
I gave Ben like a 10-minute window to soapbox here.
I'm not going to need 10 minutes. I mean,
10 minutes.
Yeah, I could probably go on for
an
hour.
We'll see.
Them. But first thing I'll start out with is just our in-season issues. So this is not going to be including our draft. This is not going to be including our off-season moves. But one of the biggest things I think has been affecting us, Joe Witt Jr. in general, but also his unwillingness to move Marshawn Lattimore out of man coverage. He came over from New Orleans, a zone guy. He was elite in zone coverage, and for whatever reason, Joe Witt Jr. thought that he was still a 26-year-old that could keep up with every receiver in the league. He can't, obviously. He gave up an insane amount of penalties throughout the year, and the minute they started moving him into that zone corner position that they should have been playing him in this whole time, he's been playing a lot better. Now, obviously, he's out for the year now, which I never wish injury on a player, but we'll see how our defense does without him.
Mm-hmm.
Relying on Debo throughout the year has just been screwing us. I mean, we had Terry for the first 2 games, then he went out for, 4 weeks, 5 weeks?
Yeah.
And then during that entire period, Debo has just been carrying the offensive load that entire time. I mean, multiple games with 90-plus yards. Jaden's safety blanket kind of going from Zachers last season to Debo this season. Just check down passes to him, move in the ball throughout the field. And now he's hurt because of that. I mean, obviously he hasn't played as well as he did the first 5 weeks for the last 3, but that's because we've been just giving him everything that we've got. And then honestly, there's not enough I can say about this defense. Marshawn's been our scapegoat. Mikey, you've been playing like shit. I mean, there's only so much that you can say about that. Trey Amos has been probably our most reliable defensive player so far this season.
And that's not saying a lot.
And the Seahawks, I don't know if any of you saw the clip. JSN made Trey Amos look like he'd never played a down of football in his life before.
Yeah, and he didn't even get the ball thrown to him on that play.
No, he didn't.
That was the second person that was wide open on that play. And he got folded. Yeah, I love you, Trey, but dog. Come on, man. Like that is a rough look.
I'm not going to lean too much into it, but just that combined with the fact that Terry hasn't been in the game. I know everybody wants to say, "Oh, Jaden Daniels, you should be if you're elite, you should be able to play good football even without your wide receiver one." Every quarterback in his entire career that's ever been thought of as elite has had a receiver with him playing. With the exception of maybe like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes now, who don't really have that number one, but their teams are still good enough that they can thrive. But Josh Allen had Stephon Diggs. Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill. Joe Burrow has had Jamar or T. Higgins his whole career. C.J. Stroud, if we want to throw him in there, has Nico Collins.
Right.
Jared Goff had Kupp, and he has Amon-Ra now.
Yeah.
I mean, every quarterback that is elite has relied on a receiver at one point in his career. And just because Jaden's entire receiving core is out this year does not mean he's in a sophomore slump. It means that the team just isn't good. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But those are my end-season issues.
Yeah.
My off-season issues are a whole other thing. When people watch football, I don't think they don't realize to the extent that they should that certain positions affect others when when they have no quality. One of them being the pass rush. When you can't generate any sort of pass rush, your secondary suffers because of it. Mm-hmm. When we have nobody getting after the quarterback, these quarterbacks have 4, 5, 6 seconds to throw. They're just sitting in there watching their receivers go to work. The biggest offseason signing we had at edge rusher for us this year was Von Miller. 36-year-old Von Miller is not doing anything. Congrats, he had, 2 sacks, 1.5 sacks in the Chargers game. Other than that, I haven't seen him do anything.
Yeah, not really.
And I'm not even going to blame the guy. He's older. But we're 8 weeks into the season, and our edges are Preston Smith, who's 32 years old, signed him in week 4. Jacob Martin, who's played well for us. I'm going to give him props, but he's not a starting edge right now. And Jalen Holmes, who, I'm not going to lie, I had to look up. I wasn't even sure who he was prior to him starting for us. Jeremy Chin signed with the Raiders, 2 years, $16 million, I believe it was. You're telling me we couldn't shell out $8 million for Jeremy Chin?
I have no idea why we let him walk.
A consistent safety. And now we signed Will Harris, who got hurt in the first game, and we barely seen him this year. Giving Noah Brown a contract at all. I'm so gracious for you for catching that ball that dropped into your hands against the Bears last year that won us the game. Other than that, what has he done? I keep moving this thing. It will stay like that.
He's been a 400-yard receiver last year and then has been hurt. He's just been eating money.
He's played 1 game. We gave him $3 million, which isn't a lot, I know. But still, I mean, we shouldn't have given him any money at all. And then trading away Brian Robinson Jr. was a mistake. Okay, we had 3 running backs in the backfield. It is never a bad thing for a team to have 3 quality running backs in their backfield.
Sure.
I mean, we give him to San Francisco for a 6th-round pick, I think it was. Should have gotten more out of him. But anyways, so now we're left with 2 running backs. Well, 3 running backs, really. We've got Austin Eckler, who's 30 years old and is thought of as a pass-catching back. He started out as RB1.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Bill. I love Bill. He's a 7th-round pick. I mean...
Just came in the mail last week. I hated wearing this on Sunday, by the way.
It's got to be brutal. But he's a 7th-round pick. I don't know many teams that are like, okay, we're going into this year, we're putting everything we got into a 30-year-old running back and a 7th-rounder. And then you got Chris Rodriguez, who is great for us, but also I don't want to rely on him.
Yeah, he's not a starter.
No. So that's what I got for off-season issues. I'm sure there's a ton more that I'm not even thinking about, but we'll get to that later. And then draft issues. My main draft issue this year was our 1st-round pick. Josh Connerly, I'm sure eventually you're going to be great. Not 100%. The verdict's still out on him right now. I don't understand why we had a 1st-round pick these were some of the guys that were still on the board at this point that I was like, oh, go for them. Jahad Campbell, who could have easily slotted into that linebacker slot.
Yeah.
Carson Schweschinger, who I had last week as Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. Nicky Manwari, who right now I believe ranks 3rd in cornerbacks on PFF.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he has a lower snap count, obviously, but that defense in Seattle is elite, and he's a massive part of it. Donovan Ezraku, playing for the Cowboys right now. Playing above expectations, I think. Not elite yet by any stretch, but still pretty good.
Especially after losing to the Cardinals.
Yeah. Nick Scorton on the Panthers, I believe it is. He was one of the guys in my pre-draft analysis that I wanted us to get. And Mike Green, who was my preseason Rookie Defensive Player of the Year pick. So all those guys were taken after
Josh Connerly.
And the fact that we drafted Josh Connerly, he's a left tackle in college, and we're like, oh, we'll just slot him over to the right since we just traded for Tunsil, and not worry about it. He shouldn't have any issues sliding from left tackle to right tackle.
Yeah, sure, it should be no problem.
Which anybody in the history of football knows is a ridiculously hard transition for any tackle to do. And also, we drafted Brandon Coleman in the 3rd round last year, who's a great option for us. And he just, for whatever reason, had not been playing well this year, or playing really at all. But just some of our draft picks in the last few years that haven't panned out. This year, Jalen Lane seemed to have a fumbling issue. Yeah. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for now, but we'll see. Ja'Cory Crossy-Merritt also has a fumbling issue, but I have faith in Bill. He can do it. Our 2024 draft was just not good. I mean, yeah, we got Jaden Daniels, the obvious pick at 2.
Yeah.
Which Drake May playing really well this year. But obviously, we still ride with Jaden.
Yeah.
Jerzon Newton in round 2, when Cooper DeJean was still available. Mike Sanders still looked terrible this year. Was great last year, but he gets an interception every other game, and everyone's like, oh, he's elite. No, he's not. He's giving up a lot in pass coverage. Ben Sinnott, who we never see on the field for some reason, and even when we do, he makes no difference whatsoever.
He also has a very high penalty rate, too, whenever he is on the field.
Exactly. Brandon Coleman needs to play a bit more. Luke McCaffrey, prayers up. Hope you recover well. Jordan McGee was a good pick.
Yep.
Dominique Hampton was one of our 5th-round picks. Cut him after we got blown out by the Patriots in the preseason this year.
Which I cannot fathom drafting a guy and then playing one preseason game and letting him go.
Well, we drafted him last year.
Well, at least, not playing him at all.
Yeah.
Not even seeing what he's made of at the NFL level. And just you know what? A 5th-rounder, we don't need him. How can you make that decision so fast without even, getting to see him play?
Yeah.
It's just, at that point, it's just a wasted pick.
Yeah.
You just don't do anything anymore. So.
Pretty much. And this is the previous regime's draft, but I will go over this draft because I think it's actually just really funny how it did not pan out whatsoever. I'm convinced that 2023 was just Dan Snyder's last fuck you before he sold the team. And that is because 1st round we picked Emmanuel Forbes. 2 picks later was Christian Gonzalez. Our 2nd round pick was Quan Martin, who for some reason played okay last year and then came into this year forgetting how to tackle people correctly.
He just likes to hit people. He doesn't rap at all. No. And then we've seen that on 2 separate occasions now, people taking it for touchdowns when he tries to hit them. So, oh God. After having both of his shoulders had surgery on.
Yeah.
So in the offseason, he had both of his shoulders worked on, and now he seems to only want to hit with his shoulders.
Yeah.
Which is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. But, oh God.
Our 3rd round pick that year was Ricky Stromberg, not on the team anymore. Our 4th round pick that year was Braden Daniels, who is also not on the team this year. Our 5th round pick was KJ Henry, also not on the team this year. Our 6th round pick was actually Chris Rodriguez, who you could argue was the best player in this draft class at 6th round and a running back 3rd string on our roster this year. And then our last pick was Andre Jones, who's also not on the roster. So We have a lot to work on this offseason. I know it's literally week 9, and I'm already looking at mock drafts and thinking about the free agents.
I think a lot of people after this last game were doing that. So,
but I don't have a lot of faith moving forward. But I'm gonna try to stay optimistic. We are gonna be 5th in cap space going into the offseason at $96 million. So I'm hoping that we'll actually be able to make some smart moves with that money rather than whatever the fuck we did last offseason.
And I believe we'll have to re-sign some people too. There's a lot of people on 1 years. A lot of people's 2 and 3 years are coming up too. So it'll be a decision on whether or not we re-sign Zach Ertz, because I think he's just been doing 1 year for us just because he's kind of old.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes.
Probably shouldn't.
We gave $33 million to one of our wide receivers that doesn't play. So I guess we'll see. Now, Ben, I want to do this on a little bit of a lighter note because it's been very depressing talking about all of these losses that have happened to us so far.
I somehow was happier last year or 2 years ago when we went
4-13.
4-13 because I just expected us to lose every week, and now that I have expectations, it's just
giving us a sense of falsehood.
It's doing numbers on my mental health right now.
Yeah, we're doing cartwheels on it. So right now, I'm gonna bring it to a little bit of a lighter note. We're gonna talk about some concerts. So. I haven't been to a whole lot of concerts. I'd like to go to a lot more, but, not having the money to do so is kind of a big issue.
Rent is ass.
Yeah, rent sucks. So, what I'm going to talk about, for both of us, actually, is going to be our favorite concert that we have been to. Not together, but, well, maybe together, but we've been to a couple concerts together. Don't look at me like that. Our favorite concert that we have been to, and a concert that you need to go to. So a concert that we haven't been to yet that we really want to go to.
Yeah.
So Ben, what has your favorite concert been so far?
I was originally tempted to say Coldplay because their concert's fantastic. But we'll hear a little bit more about that later.
Spoilers.
I would say that my favorite concert was probably The Weeknd that I went to this last summer. It was at the Commander Stadium, actually.
Northwest.
The only time this year I've been happy at that stadium. But, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I was at the game this last weekend. I had to witness our franchise quarterback dislocate his elbow in real time. I'm dying. Anyway.
Yeah, so, by the way, just a little sidebar. Ben has been to 2 games in the last 2 years. The one game was the Chicago Hail Mary. And the other game was Jaden Daniels going out for the year.
There's no such thing as an average game for me.
Ben needs to stay far away from the parking lots of Northwest Stadium. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, your concert, The Weeknd.
The Weeknd, yes. It was awesome. I mean, now a bunch of concerts and the game actually on Sunday, they have the wristbands that light up. Mm-hmm. So when people put their hands up and they're like going like that.
Yeah. Little frat flicks in there.
Frat flick. It lights up and it looks really cool throughout the stadium. So I will say The Weeknd, fantastic performer. I mean, the concert was like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, I want to say. He sang like 40 songs. And that entire time he was just going. Obviously, they were slightly shortened songs.
Right.
But to just go back to back to back that many times, it was awesome to witness. So I'd put that at my one. Plus, I was there with my family and my girlfriend, which was nice.
Yeah, so. That sounds nice. My favorite concert that I've been to, now, like I said, I haven't been to very many. Like, the top ones that I remember are The Wiggles and Big Time Rush. So, but out of all the concerts that I've been to, at least over the last few years, I gotta say, going to a Joji concert was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And so I went with Ben and a couple of our friends to that concert, and we got like row 400 seats.
Like
we were
412.
all the way. These tickets were like maybe $20, and we got like all the way in the back.
We were taking our phones and like zooming in on the stage.
We were just Ben with his old man eyes had to like zoom in for everything. But it was really funny because we were sitting in the back row, and he had his like starters or whatever, the people that go on before him. Openers, yeah. See, I don't go to very many concerts. I don't know the lingo. But he had his openers go on, and there was one guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he was so fucking funny.
Oh, yeah.
All of his songs are like meme songs, and I mean, they sounded fucking great. And I was like, guys, we all had a Tolly with us. You know, I was like, guys, we got to get into this. Like, we got to get into the mood of like, pumping our fists and dancing in the seats. And keep in mind, there was nobody within like a 20-seat range of us back here, except for one person who was sitting in the back row right along the aisle. And so we're all bumping up, whatever. And out of nowhere, a security guy comes up, like from like, we're in like the 400s. So he's like coming up the stairs and he like comes over to us and he's like, hey, you guys having a good time? And we're like, yeah, man, right, we're great. We're like loving this guy. And he's like, how would you guys like floor tickets? And we're like, yeah, please. Yeah. So we get escorted down to the floor. And this was at, God, where was this concert at? Was it at
Capital One?
Capital One? Yeah. So now all of a sudden we're on the floor. We're like maybe 50 feet from the stage.
Yeah.
Now, Joji, if you're not familiar with his music, a lot of it is very sad. And so
it's interpretational.
We were down on the floor. A lot of the people in our group were bawling their eyes out. Me included. But I would say probably one of the highlights from this concert was during his like break, right? He had like a little halftime.
Yeah.
Like, see, I don't know the fucking terminology, but
intermission.
Yeah, he had a little intermission where he went to the bathroom and he put up on the screen his piss clock. It was crazy. He had a timer for how long his stream was in the bathroom. And then he came back after his 3.5-minute piss and decided, you know what? Friend off stage, come on stage. We're going to play some Smash Bros for the audience. And then he's just up there on this 100-foot screen playing Smash Bros with someone for like 10 minutes and then goes back to all the sad crap. Yep. So phenomenal concert.
Real roller coaster of emotion.
And honestly, it would probably stay at number 1, but in December I'm going to see JID, and I cannot wait for that concert. That will probably be my favorite concert.
That'll be fun.
But enough about Joji, because we're going to talk about concerts that we want to go to.
Yeah.
Now, I'll let you go second, because for me, I picked Coldplay. Now, I've never been to a Coldplay concert. I like a lot of their music, but the things that I have heard from people that have gone to Coldplay concerts, it is apparently a life-altering experience to go to a Coldplay concert.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked to at least 3 or 4 people that have been to Coldplay concerts, and they easily say it's the best concert they've ever been to. So, and these are like pretty avid concert goers as well. Mm-hmm. So, it sounds amazing. A lot of their music may make people cry, and I mean, a lot of it is some people's like sad comfort music, but I mean, they're a cornerstone of what we listened to growing up. So I would love to be bawling my fucking eyes out at a Coldplay concert.
Not like we know anybody that has a certain Coldplay song.
No, we would never, and she would never definitely watch this podcast.
No,
so.
she doesn't watch it anyways. It's okay, we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to dox her though, but... So, Ben, what is your future concert that you want to go to?
I will say, I have been to a Coldplay concert. It was phenomenal. I mean, I would have put it at 1, but I didn't want to take the spotlight away from you, Keenan.
I appreciate that, Ben. Thank you.
Anytime, big boy. One concert that I really wanted to go to is Luke Combs. I wouldn't consider myself like an avid country music listener, but I do love the occasional country bop. So, and I will say, Luke Combs, out of all the country music I listen to, is probably like 65-70% of it. 60-70% of it. And
this fucking asshole. I can't with this guy. How dare you do a 6-7 joke live?
So I will say, this isn't live. I will say, I've heard a lot of his, or seen a lot of his videos from his concerts where he like brings random people out. He was at, I think it was Lollapalooza, in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And Alex Warren was singing, and he went on stage and did a song with Alex Warren. That was sick. He's brought people on stage for his concerts before. His openers look really cool as well. So, I mean, can't really go wrong with...
I love Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I'm a big Luke Combs guy, and I missed out on going to his concert twice last year. So
Twice. By the way, this guy, Luke Combs, came to the Commander Stadium last year, and it was the day of the concert, and we both found out that he was there, and he texted me, and he goes, dude, we should go to the concert. And I was like, 1, I'm broke, and you're broke. 2, we both have to work today. And he was like, well, yeah, but we're both off at 9. The concert starts at 9, but all the openers are going to be playing their songs and everything. So, like, all we have to do is get off at 9, drive the hour and 15 minutes to Landover, park, buy parking passes, and then walk into the stadium. We'll probably get there, like, a quarter of the way into a show, but, like, we'll be fine.
I game planned the whole thing out. I was ready for a night that I would never forget, and then it never happened.
I'm sorry to disappoint. What's new? But yeah, that was our non-sports topic, guys. Let's move back into our depression phase.
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about the Wizards.
Oh.
Unfortunately. 7 games in, and we are 1-6.
Not bad.
I will say, rather than talking about our 76ers game that we lost when we were up 11 with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left, I'm thinking let's do a little MVP versus NTI segment.
Okay.
So, MVP, obviously, most valuable player so far. NTI is going to be needs to improve. MVP of the season so far, I kind of put it on 2 people, but I'll give it to one. I was originally thinking Alex Sarr, just because, he's been fine.
Borderline consistent.
Not a lot of great bright spots on this team, but one bright spot that I will say is Keyshawn George. This guy is averaging 18, 7, and 4 right now, and he's shooting 55%, which is great. But the main reason I gave it to him was because he is the sole reason why we won our one game this season.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy against the Mavericks had a stat line of 34, 11, and 4, and he shot 7 of 9 from 3. I mean, nobody else on this team has gotten close to a stat line like that this season.
And that is phenomenal from anybody wearing a Wizards uniform.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, I think he needs to work on his turnover rate a little bit. He's had four of these 7 games that he has 4 or more turnover. So, need to workshop that a little bit. But he also shouldn't have the ball in his hands as much as he does.
Yeah,
right now.
like a lot of these turnovers are coming from bad dribbling and bad spacing between people. He's a catch and work guy. He is not a guy to create his own space.
No.
He's just too big.
Yeah.
Can't do that. But with consistent point guard play, other than CJ McCollum, he could probably, like, throwing Bilal back at the point guard position and having both of them on the floor at the same time. That has been a big issue with our coaching staff.
Yeah.
And they are using him to substitute George out of the game. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not able to get both of them on the floor at the same time.
No.
And also, where's AJ Johnson? I wanted to play more. Whatever. Whatever, dude. I don't care. Continue.
I don't know why that was so funny to me.
Continue.
Our NTI player of the year, you've already mentioned him. It's going to be CJ McCollum. This guy
needs to be investigated for sports betting and gambling.
He does, yes. Obviously, we traded Jordan Poole away for him as part of our rebuild, but it's not a pool party.
It should have been. We should have never let him go, by the way.
The main reason we brought him in was obviously because he was part of the rebuild, and then he was supposed to be a consistent piece that could sort of mentor the younger guy. He hasn't done anything close to that. I mean, and if anything, he's been a hindrance on our offense that doesn't seem to be helping or mentoring these new guys. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know anything, really.
Not enough pool parties.
No. He's averaging 13, 3, and 3 so far this year, and he's shooting 35% overall. That's terrible. Just to give you a couple of these games, he's had one game he had 5 points on 2 of 9 shooting. He's had 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting, and he's had 9 points on 4 of 14 shooting, including 0 for 6 from 3. And that was in that Bucks game. That was closer than we thought it would be. So
yeah, it was still within like 12 points.
If this guy's shooting 4 of 14, and it's a 10-point game, what is he helping? But yeah, those are my 2 players for the season. This week is going to be brutal, guys. Tonight we have the Celtics, who have dominated us for the last almost 10 years.
But I've been inconsistent this year.
Yeah. The Cavs.
Who were the number 1 overall seed last year.
The Mavericks, who we did beat.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. And then the Pistons, who right now are 5-2. And Cade Cunningham looks disgusting.
That's a rough stretch for a 1-6 Wizards team who needs to get their feet under them. But
I digress. I've been talking a lot.
Yeah. You need to have your sponsor not sponsor.
Body armor. Please sponsor me. I would really like it. I love you guys. Coconut milk. Wait, coconut milk. Coconut water.
What are you saying right now?
It's 10% coconut water. All the bottles.
Wow, man.
I'm not the biggest fan of your rebrand, I will say. I don't like this bottle in comparison to the last one. But, anyways, I digress. Our next segment will be quick picks.
Yeah, we'll talk about the upcoming games next year, give our who we think will win, and we'll leave the best one for last.
Okay. Starting out. Raiders at Broncos.
Broncos.
Falcons at
Colts. They need to have a bounce back after losing to the Steelers last week.
This game's in London.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Browns at Jets.
Ew. I would say probably the Browns, honestly.
I think the Browns. The Jets just sold their whole team.
Yeah.
The Jags at Texans.
That's going to be a good game, I think.
Divisional.
Although it'll all depend on if CJ plays. Right now he's questionable. They got Davis Mills, but I mean,
that's a great backup.
Yeah,
he's no Marcus Mariota, but
I'm gonna go Jags.
I'm gonna go Jags as well. Bills at Dolphins.
Yeah, Bills by 40 probably. I mean, Achane will have his 25 fantasy points and whatever, but
Lord knows I need it. I'll go Bills as well. Pats at Buccaneers.
That could be a good game. Depends on if Baker. Who's he even throwing to now? I have no idea.
Egbuka
and with Sterling Shepard.
Kate Otten. If Bucky Irving's back this week.
Maybe. Who knows? He didn't practice the entire bye week they had, so.
Can I just say I knew in the back of my mind on all my fantasy teams this year, I was picking at normally that 7 to 10 slot, which meant I always had a pick for my second pick between Jonathan Taylor and Bucky Irving. And in half my leagues, I took Jonathan Taylor, and the other half of my leagues, I took Bucky Irving.
Man, what a hit rate for you.
Let's just say in one of those leagues, I'm 7-2, and in the other one, I'm 2-7. So, anyway, Ravens at Vikings.
This could be like a trap game. I don't know. I think I might have to go. Oh, God. I don't know.
I think I'd go Vikings.
Yeah, I'll go Vikings.
Giants at Bears.
Oof. Well, I mean, Caleb just came off a fucking ridiculous week, so I think the Giants got it, though.
Giants. Screw the Bears.
As long as Adunze puts up another fucking donut, then I think the Giants could win.
Well, I mean, they scored 47 points last week, and Adunze didn't have a catch, but Saints at Panthers.
I think the Panthers got that one pretty handily.
Panthers, yeah. Tyler Shuck sucks.
He's phenomenal.
Cardinals at Seahawks.
It's kind of hard to go against Arizona right now, especially since they just benched Kyler. Yeah, I'm going Seattle.
Did you see Seattle?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, Seattle's going to win that probably.
Rams at 49ers.
Rams. Man, having both divisional games in the same week, that's kind of crazy.
Right. Steelers at Chargers.
Steelers.
I'll go Chargers.
Okay.
Eagles at Packers.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to go against the Eagles right now because they just keep finding ways to fucking win. But I'm going to go Packers. I like the Packers in this one.
I'll go Eagles. And
last but not least,
can we keep this short?
Game of the week.
My mental health is already down the drain. I can't do it with this team, but it will be the Lions at the Commanders.
Yeah, so another home game. We got a couple key points here. This could be a trap game for bettors. I feel like when the odds are this stacked, Vegas has to come in at some point and be like, okay, we got to even this out. So I wouldn't say slam all the overs on all the Lions guys. It could very well be a very low scoring game. It could be. I'm just shit posting here, but it could be. The other end of the spectrum there is don't lose by 40. I feel like the homicide rate in DC is going to go up if we get up getting blown out again.
It probably already has, to be honest.
But to be fair, it's in Maryland technically, so I don't think there would be much of a spike. And I don't know. Can I say that? I don't know. But the one thing that we did have a bright spot in last week was maintaining the rush. Which, I mean, going from K9 and Charbonnet to Gibbs and Montgomery, he could also just completely explode on the Commanders. But, okay. That didn't come out right.
Good for him, I guess.
He needs that after, being, two break, or what is it?
2 fumbles?
No, it's like the break and bust or whatever.
Boomer bust?
Yeah, boomer bust. He's had 2 booms and 4 busts. So we'll see. I mean, the rush defense looked great. I'm just kind of coping at this point. The Lions very well could put up like 35 points and just keep it there.
Yeah.
But they also could just run the ball the whole game. I mean, they have so many options. And, I mean, as long as I don't have to watch Marshawn Lattimore guard Amon-Ra St. Brown, then I think I could survive the week, and maybe I'll be back again to talk next week. But
yeah.
I think that's all the time I need to spend on that game.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk.
I think it's a loss. We'll go with 3-7 going to Madrid to play the Dolphins.
Wow.
So
who would have thought at the beginning of the season that the Madrid game was going to be Quinn Ewers versus Marcus Mariota?
Yeah, that's definitely not what we needed to send over. I talked a little bit about this earlier in the year about like sending dog shit teams overseas to play each other.
Yeah, well,
and like now instead of it being Tua versus Jaden, Quinn Ewers versus Marcus Mariota.
Instead of it being 2 excitingly high-powered offenses.
And now we're going to watch a bunch of backups. Now, this is if Mariota survives the Lions. Then we may have to, dip back into our Sam Hartman.
Do you know who our third stringer is right now? I looked this up last night.
Not on the top of my head.
It is Josh Johnson.
Honestly, if Josh Johnson plays, we could have a good shot of winning this game. And I'm speaking in 100% bullshit right now because I just don't want to think about the game until Sunday.
Yeah.
So
all right, well, let's go ahead and I think that's all we got for you guys this week.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a longer episode, but there's a lot of shits and gigs in there.
We appreciate you guys for listening, and feel free to leave a comment on anything you want to hear us talk about, or even any non-sport topics that we could talk about.
Yeah, keep your heads up, guys. It's been a rough few weeks for DC sports in general, so it can always get worse. So
it can't be any more depressing than that car ride home on Sunday night for me. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.